The White House spent Sunday explaining US President Donald Trump's decision to suspend negotiations with Taliban insurgents, emphasizing that recent Taliban attacks made further talks impossible for the time being.
We're going to walk away from a deal if others try to use violence to achieve better ends in a negotiation. It's not right, it's not appropriate, it killed an American, and it made no sense for the Taliban to be rewarded for that kind of bad behavior.
Pompeo and other US officials were at Dover Air Force Base in the US state of Delaware Saturday night when a casket carrying the body of an American soldier slain in Afghanistan was returned with a full military ceremony. The Secretary of State said any future talks with the Taliban would need to include commitments that the Taliban would expel foreign militant groups like Al-Qaeda and that an orderly timeline be honored to allow US troops to leave. The US and the Taliban had been talking for a year in Qatar with a deal thought to be close. Details of such an agreement are sketchy, but it's understood the US would remove about 5,400 troops from Afghanistan within 135 days after signing a final deal. The US has around 14,000 troops in country. The reaction to the end of the talks in Kabul was mixed. The government there criticized its exclusion from the negotiation.
We strongly believe in a process that can be led and owned by the Afghan government and Afghan people, and that will lead us to a dignified peace, a sustainable peace, and a peace in which Taliban will not kill Afghans anymore. So that's what we think.
The Taliban has refused to talk to the government in Kabul, calling it a puppet of the US. A spokesman for the Taliban said in a statement the Americans will suffer more than anyone else for cancelling the talks. Still, there is fear that the end of these talks could see the Taliban launch a new offensive.
The fighting and the violence and the bloodshed will intensify. It will get worse because the Taliban, I'm pretty sure, will come up with a statement saying, a bombastic statement defying Trump and vowing to continue the jihad. And you will equally see the region urging Trump to continue on the peace path.
So the question is, will a new round of violence by the Taliban encourage Trump to renew these peace talks, or will it push him to pursue the military strategy the US has focused on for the past 2 decades? Toby Muse, CGTN, Washington.